Being alone becomes the first place where nothing is asked of them, where their needs don't have to wait their turn, and rest doesn't require permission, explanation, or justification. Hi, I'm Kim. I am on a mission to make my best decades. And I am in the process in my last 8 or 9 months of grad school to become a therapist. Today, we're going to talk about isolating and not connecting. And we're kind of taught that that is a bad thing. But I came across a post recently that really gave me permission to be okay with that right now. This is my metal straw setup. I came across this post, probably on Instagram, that talked about craving solitude. That could be on a t shirt of mine or a hat. Craving solitude. I could be by myself for a week, not talk to anyone, not go anywhere, and be as happy as a little clam. I don't know why clams are happy. Am I mixing up that saying? I don't know. So I'm going to share this. It's from at War Paint Journal. But if you are someone that finds yourself, especially most of the people that watch my channel are above 40, even above 50, maybe empty nesters or getting close to that, and you just like, I'm at the point where I have always had dogs. I love dogs. I've had two dogs intentionally at once, at least, because I hate not having a dog. If I lose if a dog passes away and then I don't have any dog, it's just devastating to me. I love dogs, and lately they just feel like another responsibility. I take good care of them. I will always do that. I will see this through. I don't see me getting another dog when they're gone, at least maybe until I'm like homebound and need a companion. But they just feel like a big responsibility, and I find myself resenting the fact that I have something to take care of still. I read this and it just made me, it just really resonated with me. So I want to share it with you. So, people who spend years overgiving eventually crave solitude, not because they dislike connection, but because they slowly lost themselves inside of it, inside of connection. And that is, the words that just perfectly puts into words what my experience has been. My parents were alcoholics, so I had a pretty crazy childhood. And then I married a malignant narcissist, and I was just always in the role of being at being in somebody else's crazy. Like, what do I have to do to fix this? That was just normal for me. And then I had three kids when and I found myself single. So obviously I'm going to take good care of my kids, and poured myself into motherhood and devoted everything I had to them. And I have no regret about that. I love them. They're the best thing that ever happened to me. But I'm at a point now where they're all in their 20s. They are self-sufficient. I have a grandson and a granddaughter on the way, two different daughters of mine, and I love being with them. And then I love being back home. And sometimes I feel a little guilty about that, because it's like, oh, I just love being at home in solitude. And I hear that as an older person, that one of the things that is an indicator of a long life is having connection. I do have connection and I love it when I'm having it, but I pretty much crave solitude. And this just perfectly helps me to understand why. Let me keep reading. Being alone becomes the first place where nothing is asked of them, where their needs don't have to wait their turn, and rest doesn't require permission, explanation, or justification. I have a hard time resting, because that's another video. They aren't isolating, they're recalibrating. Let me say that again. I'm not isolating, I'm recalibrating after decades of not being calibrated, or calibrating myself to other people that deserved it and didn't deserve it. Learning what it feels like to choose themselves without guilt, to move at their own pace, and to hear their own thoughts without simultaneously managing someone else's emotions. Having alcoholic parents and being married to a malignant narcissist, that was my job. Obviously, I participated in that, but as an unwell person being in those situations, as a kid, I had no choice. But once I got out, and then I ended up with him, um, my role that I had come accustomed to was just managing his emotions. I couldn't really have any emotions. I couldn't really have any needs. I had to make sure I wasn't making him angry. And I couldn't be angry or voice any negative feelings because then he would get angry at me being angry. So it it was not good. It was not good. After years of being endlessly available, peace starts to feel like privacy. And I love being single. I love being single and not having, it's been 18 years. I haven't even been on a date. And I, there was a little bit of time in there where I was like, oh, I would like to find someone. And now I'm just like, that sounds like a lot of work. And I like being alone. After years of being endlessly available, peace starts to feel like privacy, and healing begins to look less like finding new people and more like finally being able to sit with themselves without feeling empty. That shift isn't withdrawal, it's recovery. That kind of gives me permission. Now, I do think because I do tend to, like, I'm an introvert at heart as I sit here and like, blah, 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 to who knows. But this allows me to connect without really connecting. I am, when I move and get settled, I'm going to try to put myself out there a little bit more, maybe. But yeah, I just, let me know if that really resonated with you. Maybe you've had a similar background and it just feels like after all of the decades of putting everyone else first, sometimes out of necessity and sometimes because of lack of boundaries, and or being a kid and being stuck and just having to figure out, what do I do to make this situation, not as bad as I know it could be. I just, no wonder I like to be alone. And so yeah, let me know if that resonated with you. I appreciate you being here. And I always say at the end of my videos, for those of you who need to hear it, it's not too late, you're not too old. Whatever it is that you're wanting to do, and you're telling yourself, that ship has sailed, it's too late, nobody at my age does that, absolutely untrue. Go do it. So go look at yourself in the mirror. It's not too late. I'm not too old. And I will see you in the next video.